December 5th, 1945. 5 American military planes took off into a sky so blue it felt innocent. The Atlantic shimmered peacefully beneath them. The air was calm. The mission was routine. Nothing about that afternoon suggested history would remember it as the beginning of one of the world's most haunting mysteries. They never came back. No distress call, no wreckage, no bodies, just silence, swallowed by the sea. Somewhere between the southern tip of Florida, the islands of Bermuda, and the shores of Puerto Rico lies a stretch of ocean that has terrified sailors, haunted pilots, and fueled nightmares for nearly a century. A vast triangular region stretching over 500,000 square miles, where the horizon seems endless and the waters appear deceptively calm. They call it the Bermuda Triangle. But what if the truth is even more unsettling than the legend? What if the mystery is not about monsters or portals, but about something far more human, far more fragile? On that December afternoon, 14 young men trusted their instruments, their training, and the sky above them. Families expected them home for dinner. Letters were waiting to be written. Futures were waiting to unfold. Instead, the ocean kept them. And from that day forward, the world began to ask a question that still echoes across the Atlantic waters. What really happens inside the Bermuda Triangle? The Bermuda Triangle does not appear on official world maps. There are no warning buoys marking its borders, no international laws declaring it dangerous. Ships pass through it daily. Aircraft cross above it every hour. And yet, the legend persists. The term Bermuda Triangle was popularized in 1964 by writer Vincent Gaddis, who described a mysterious region where ships and planes vanished under strange circumstances. His article ignited public imagination. Suddenly, isolated incidents became connected dots. A pattern began to form, or at least it seemed to. But the mystery did not begin in the 20th century. In 1492, long before airplanes and radar, Christopher Columbus recorded unusual compass readings while sailing through these waters. He also wrote about strange lights flickering in the distance, unexplained glows dancing on the horizon. His crew grew uneasy. They were sailing into unknown territory, guided only by faith and fragile wooden ships. Were these early warnings of something unusual in the region, or simply the fear of men venturing beyond the edge of their understanding? Over time, scattered disappearances became stories. Stories became legends. Legends became global fascination. And once the world named it, the Bermuda Triangle, the mystery gained power. Because naming something unknown makes it feel real. On that calm December day in 1945, 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers departed from Naval Air Station Fort Lauderdale for a routine training mission. The squadron was known as Flight 19. The weather was clear. The sea below was calm. Visibility was excellent. The mission should have lasted only a few hours. But soon after takeoff, something changed. Lieutenant Charles Taylor, the flight leader, reported that his compass was malfunctioning. Then came confusion. He believed they were flying over the Florida Keys. He was wrong. Radio transmissions grew tense. Coordinates did not match expectations. Fuel levels began to drop. The trainees followed their leader, trusting his experience, unaware that they were drifting farther into open ocean. Then came the chilling words. Everything looked strange, even the ocean. The sky seemed unfamiliar. The water appeared different, pale, endless, disorienting. Ground control attempted to guide them west, back toward land. But the pilots could no longer determine which direction was west. The final transmission was haunting. It looks like we are entering white water. We're completely lost. Then silence. 5 planes, 14 men. Gone. A rescue aircraft sent to search for them also vanished the same day. No confirmed wreckage, no bodies, no closure. The ocean offered nothing in return. Long before Flight 19, another disappearance stunned the world. In March 1918, the USS Cyclops, a massive U.S. Navy cargo ship, departed Barbados carrying 309 men and thousands of tons of manganese ore. The ship was en route to Baltimore. The journey should have been uneventful. It never arrived. There was no distress signal, no storm officially recorded, no evidence of enemy attack. The vessel simply vanished somewhere between the Caribbean and the American mainland. 309 lives disappeared without explanation. Families waited at docks. Letters stopped coming. Hope slowly dissolved into uncertainty. To this day, the USS Cyclops remains the largest non-combat loss of life in U.S. naval history. No wreckage has ever been definitively recovered. It is as if the Atlantic simply closed over the ship and erased its existence. Over the decades, many theories have attempted to explain the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle. Some scientists suggest methane gas eruptions from the ocean floor could suddenly reduce water density, causing ships to sink almost instantly. Others point to rogue waves, massive walls of water capable of overwhelming even large vessels without warning. The Gulf Stream, a powerful ocean current, flows swiftly through the region. It can carry debris far from crash sites within hours, making recovery nearly impossible. Magnetic variation in this area may also play a role. Compasses sometimes point toward true north instead of magnetic north, potentially confusing inexperienced navigators. Sudden storms can form rapidly in the Atlantic, transforming calm seas into violent chaos within minutes. When examined individually, each disappearance may have a logical explanation: human error, mechanical failure, unpredictable weather. But when viewed together, they create something else: a pattern of mystery. In 1974, author Charles Berlitz published a best-selling book claiming the Bermuda Triangle was linked to extraterrestrials, time warps, or even the lost city of Atlantis. The book became an international sensation. Television specials dramatized vanishings. Headlines used ominous language. The triangle transformed from a maritime concern into a cultural phenomenon. Yet despite the fear, shipping companies continued their routes. Airlines maintained regular schedules. Insurance companies did not increase premiums for vessels traveling through the area. Thousands of ships and planes safely cross the region every year. The legend grew not because of constant disasters, but because mystery captures imagination more powerfully than statistics. Fear thrives where answers are incomplete. When modern investigators revisited many of the Triangle's most famous cases, alternative explanations emerged. Flight 19's leader may have become disoriented, misjudging his location and leading the squadron off course. The rescue plane that vanished could have suffered a fuel vapor explosion, a known risk for that aircraft model. The USS Cyclops may have been structurally compromised or overloaded, possibly overwhelmed by a sudden storm. Statistical analysis shows that the Bermuda Triangle does not record significantly more disappearances than other heavily traveled ocean regions. In many cases, human miscalculation, equipment failure, and natural forces provide plausible explanations. Yet for families who never received answers, statistics offer little comfort. Grief does not calculate probability. It remembers absence. The Bermuda Triangle represents something deeper than ships and planes. It represents our fear of losing control. The ocean covers more than 70% of Earth's surface. Vast portions of it remain unexplored. Trenches plunge deeper than Mount Everest is tall. Entire ecosystems remain hidden in darkness. For centuries, sailors feared sea monsters at the edge of their maps. Today, we speak of magnetic anomalies and time distortions. The language changes. The fear remains. Mystery is woven into human nature. We crave explanations. We search for meaning. When answers are missing, imagination fills the void. The Bermuda Triangle endures not because it defies science, but because it symbolizes the unknown. The stories of the Bermuda Triangle teach powerful lessons. Human error can have devastating consequences. Even trained professionals can become disoriented under pressure. Nature demands respect. The Atlantic can shift from calm to catastrophic in moments. Incomplete information breeds speculation. When facts are missing, myths grow. Yet mystery also inspires progress. It pushes scientists to explore deeper waters. It drives advancements in navigation and meteorology. It reminds humanity to remain humble before forces larger than ourselves. The Triangle challenges us, not to fear the unknown, but to understand it. Somewhere beneath the Atlantic waves lie fragments of history, rusted metal, shattered instruments, personal belongings resting quietly on the seabed. A pilot's watch, a sailor's boot, a compass frozen in its final direction. The ocean is not evil. It does not hunt, it does not curse, it simply exists, vast, deep, and indifferent. For the 14 men of Flight 19, for the 309 souls aboard the USS Cyclops, for every unnamed traveler whose journey ended in those waters. The Bermuda Triangle is not just a legend, it is a place of remembrance. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not why ships disappear. Perhaps it is why we so desperately seek something extraordinary to explain ordinary tragedy. Because if the cause is alien forces or time portals, then at least there is a villain. But if the cause is human limitation and natural power, then we must accept something far more unsettling. Sometimes, tragedy needs no monster, only circumstance. As the sun sets over the Atlantic between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, the waters glow gold and peaceful. Ships pass safely. Planes cross overhead. Life continues. Yet beneath the surface lies a reminder. The sea does not owe us answers, and some stories may remain unfinished forever. The Bermuda Triangle is not merely a region on a map. It is a mirror reflecting our curiosity, our fear, and our endless desire to understand the unknown. And perhaps that is the greatest mystery of all.